So I'm here at the entrance to the Tulip Tree Trail, and this is a good spot to find this particular species of fungus. This is the giant puffball. It's an edible. Look at that. Look how big this thing is. Let's see. It looks like it's good. Oh yeah. This stuff is edible. It doesn't taste like much though. I guess you can cook it or something, but ooh, look at that. But this will eventually turn yellow. This whole mass. This is a basidiomycete, right? So it's in the mushroom family, not like not in the cup fungi or something like that. And this stuff, these are, I guess, full of pores, and it'll produce spores by the trillions. So when it's ready, this outer skin will get hard, and you can tap it, and the thing will exude a smoky substance, which is the spores, trillions and trillions of spores. But for now, this is edible, actually. I'd rather not eat it myself, but I've had it plenty of times. It feels good when you eat it, but I guess it's better if you, prepare it properly. If it was poisonous, there are some puffballs that are smaller, but they look more or less the same. But they have this outline of a mushroom on the inside, with a curved outline here. You definitely don't want to eat that. So always check to make sure there's nothing like that. I'm not saying that you guys should go out there and try this out on your own. Definitely learn your stuff before you try. Here, you look at all this ground cover. This is just English ivy and garlic mustard. Look at this garlic mustard. Let's get a close-up. See those deeply etched veins on the garlic mustard? So it's kind of a heart shape, but it's got these deeply etched veins, and that's always a characteristic that you can rely on. This is also a biennial. It'll grow something like this, and then next spring it'll come back up as long flower stalks with white little flowers with 4 petals, because it's in the crucifery, right? And the crucifery family has another name which is escaping me right now. The Brassicaceae, I apologize. Anyway, so this is probably the most common invasive species you'll see in New York City, at least in New York City, this garlic mustard. And speaking of deeply etched veins, look at this maple. This is Acer pseudoplatanus, the sycamore maple. Now, pseudo meaning almost like, and platanus meaning sycamore. This is the genus name of the sycamores, right? But compare this to the Norway maple, and look at that deep, not too deep, but sharp V-shaped sinus, and those deeply etched veins. Yeah. So it's not too big, this one. Okay, so what we have here is the Queen's Giant. This is a tulip tree, Liriodendron tulipifera, and it's a survivor. It survived the British logging that occurred in the 1600s, 1700s, and It survived the creation of the city, the urbanization of Queens. From farmland to this, it survived the creation of farmland. It's a really, really old tree. This has been estimated to be around 350 to over 400 years in age. And it's a good example of what these tulip trees can do. And if you want to see tulip trees like this, or bigger, you got to go to the Appalachian Mountains in North Carolina, maybe Virginia, to go visit old growth primary forest. And this is a remnant of that primary forest that used to exist here. And we'll get closer and we'll see just how wide that is. Look how tall. One of the things you'll notice is how straight that trunk is. This guy's about 130, maybe 140 feet tall. And I'd say it's, I don't know about the circumference, but wide, it's probably 5 feet wide. It's a magnificent specimen. Now I can't get any closer. They fenced it off for good reason. You don't want the soil getting compacted, and you don't want kids going in there and graffitiing up the tree and killing the foam around the base of the tree, and thereby killing the tree. Is an opening there that kids used to use. Go in, take pictures. You could probably look this up on the web. And they used to have a little journal in there, see who went in and who came out alive. Anyway, probably good habitat for bats. Who knows? I guess somebody must know. But yeah, you know, you can see this thing must have a circumference of around, I don't know, up to close to 20 feet or between 10 and 20 feet. Now compare that guy to this guy. Right? This guy is he's just starting out. Just about 5 feet tall. That one is. This one's only about 4 feet tall. But look how big these leaves get. Yeah, they get these big leaves when they're, you know, not getting too much sunlight. They develop these giant leaves to, I guess, collect more sunlight. But yeah, you're a little guy. You know, you'll make it maybe. Give this guy 400 years, you'll turn into another giant. Hopefully nothing comes around and eats you. Or some, hopefully no humans come and break you. Alright. There's a nice oak. But look at all this English ivy. It's just completely covers the ground, prevents anything else from growing. A little poison ivy there, but you know, that's what it's built to do, grow above the ground. But you know, the spring ephemerals, they're gone. You're not going to find any of those here. It's going up the fence. You have Norway maple. Just an ecological disaster, really. With a few holdouts still surviving. But this is all English ivy, heterohelix. That's the old growth there. This is the newer growth. And people think it's pretty. Looks like a nice little garden to them. But they have no idea. Oh, this is something different. Let's see what this. Yeah, this is Euonymus fortunei, winter creeper. And another video I made had other members of the Euonymus clade in the family Celestraceae, with the aril surrounding the seeds. But this is a vine. It covers the ground as well, climbs up fences. Kind of looks like the English ivy. Here it is. Except it has those lance-shaped leaves. It's a nice mulberry. Here's a mulberry. You can always tell a mulberry from the multiple lobes. Look at this leaf. There are two species of mulberry. You got red and white mulberry, and yeah, it's got a different leaf shape on the same stem too. See that? I have this one, but I got to read up on how to distinguish the two. Besides the color of the fruit. Here's a winter creeper. Winter creeper. English ivy, Norway maples. Yeah. There's not enough sunlight for the garlic mustard. Otherwise it'd be here too. Take it back. It looks like it was here. Maybe it got controlled. They killed the garlic mustard. See, there's some garlic mustard there. It's getting a little bit more sunlight. Anyway, so these are the long branches that are formed in the spring and early summer when it's going to bloom. After this is the second year's growth. I guess they came around and tried to kill it or something. In any case, it wouldn't be alive at this time of the year anyway. But I just don't see any new basil leaves, except for a little bit down, a couple of feet away. But let's see. Oh, yeah. We can get a close look at the fruit. Fruits are flat, ovary. The matured ovary is a flat structure. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Yeah, and the seeds would be all along this. This is probably the rhipium, which separates the two halves of the fruit. See that? Which is a characteristic of the Brassicaceae. And you look at this and you get the idea why people like English ivy. It's not that ugly. And you see how far it grows up the trees. You get up close. Look at the fruits. It's done flowering for now, but it definitely has that Aralia family fruit structure. And sometimes this plant shows heterophyly, that is, leaves of different shapes on the single species, on the single individual. So what we're looking at here is probably competing with the garlic mustard in the most common invasive species in our area. And this is the mugwort, Artemisia vulgaris. And look at those dissected leaves. They're highly lobed. Here are the flowers. I don't even want to get too much closer because this one is a real allergenic. The pollen makes me, at least, it makes my allergies go into hyperdrive. I'm not really allergic to anything else, really. Which is why I don't get that many allergies in the spring. But now in the fall, when this stuff is in flower, it's when I get bad sometimes. I haven't really been out that much. I haven't come into contact with this stuff. So I've been fine, but once I trigger my body with this one time, that's it for the rest of the season. So I don't want to touch it. It's the pollen that flies up into the air once you touch it. So it is a bad guy. It's a real bad guy. Alright? And I wish there were more things, or at least something that would eat it. I wish people would collect it. That's what it looks like there. white-throated sparrow singing. See that? This is almost like a trident leaf in some places, not all of them. So here's an interesting member for us, at least, of the Solanaceae, the tomato family. This is Datura, and it's got these fuzzy leaves. If you crush them up, they smell a little bit like tobacco. Here's what the fruit looks like. Man, just touching it like that, I can smell it through my COVID-19 mask. It makes you wonder if these masks work. But anyway, oh, this is already stiff. Yeah, it's pretty hard to touch without getting hurt. Anyway, or pricked. Look at the fused sepals, which is a characteristic of Solanaceae. The flowers are trumpet-like, white to purplish or tinged purple. Very nice, and it's got a couple of hundred seeds on the inside. I don't want to take it though. But it's a nice one, and I don't want to speculate on the species because some Daturas have their fruit facing up, some facing down. This one's facing down, and I'm not sure if this is going to be different or what.